This
agenda.
conference will now be recorded.
We welcome each and every one of you here tonight and appreciate you coming out to be with us. At this time, before we start, I'd like to make two announcements. Mr. Peterson's out of town tonight, so he was granted permission, and Dr. Danny Ellis is out due to family sickness. Let the record show that. At this time, I'd like for us to stand with the invocation from Mr. Warren Hill with Wesley Chapel Baptist Church, and following that, Paula Brown will present the colors.
You pray with me, please. Father, thank you so much for allowing us to be here tonight and the freedom to do that. Thank you for our commissioners. We just pray for each one of them individually and as a group, Lord, that you will please use them, guide them, direct them, Lord, draw them closer to you, help them make the decisions that they have to make, Lord. And thank you for all those who are attending this meeting tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Attention, Harry, ours. Oh, where arch. House. Ours. House. Read and ours. Permission to present the colors.
Permission granted to present the colors.
Thank you, sir. Aries, ours. Ours, first, arch. Read and ours.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Harry, ours. Ours, reverse, arch. Read and ours. Sir, permission to retire the colors.
Permission to retire the colors granted.
Thank you, sir. Harry, ours. Right, eight. Oh, where, arch.
Before I have to approve the consent items, I would like those who wasn't here last night, and I guess for our last meeting, I should say, our guest, we're happy to have our new county manager with us tonight, Mr. Croom, Sam Croom, and glad to have you here tonight, and look forward to many nights of y'all coming to support him and us. Thank you very much. Do I get permission to approve the consent items?
Second.
A motion by Mr. Gillespie, a second by there were two of them, okay, Mr. Bullock, huh? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Public hearing, I grant a public hearing to receive comments regarding the FY 2026-27 Bladen County Community Transportation Program application. Ms. Marie is Ms. Nancy Thornton here tonight. Ms. Thornton, you got the floor.
Yes, sir. Good evening, County Manager and the Board of Commissioners. My name is Nancy Thornton. I'm a public contractor for Bart's Transportation. We have applied for FY 27 grant applications for the admin, the combined capital, 5310 operating, and mobility manager. The 5311 is a grant that y'all get continuously every year. That amount was $179,964. The total match on that is a match of 15%, which is $26,995. Also, we had a combined capital. We have a vehicle that's going to be replaced by the guidelines of NCDOT due to the mileage. And that total grant came in at $231,293. And that is a 10% match on the county, which is $23,130. We also in that capital grant asked for, new camera systems for the vehicles. That goes with the system that we utilize right now. And will give you live feed as the vehicles is on the road, but you do not have at this current time. The 5310 operated is a grant that's never been asked for in the county. But as you know, there's funds being cut, and the Division of Agents for the elderly, for the seniors coming in, they got their money cut, so I asked for $50,000. That match will be by in kind, which means you do not have to match that funds by monies. That was a $50,000. Also, I asked for a mobility manager for $50,000. It's at a 5% match from the county. That'd be $5,000. That position is something that hopefully will get approved. Both of those last two grants that I've applied for, I had to get support letters, and I have received those letters to move forward with it. But the mobility management is a position that you cannot use as an administrative person. That's for planning and building BART's transportation better for the community needs.
Consider approving and adopting public transportation program resolution and approving 2027 local share certification.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Bullock first, second by Mr. Gooden. Any discussion?
Question, yes. On the 200,000, I think you talked about the vehicles. How many vehicles are we talking about, a bus?
The vehicle's $130,000. You got one coming in. They pay for the logos, which is $575. The camera system I was referring to is like $75,000. You also have some furniture, because you know BARTS and DOA was being separated, and if we happen to get a building, I order furniture for 3 offices, which is paid at 10%. 10% match from you.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Special recognition of Mr. Don Edwards with the Water District.
We have 2 individuals that passed their latest certification exams. Junior Jackson passed his B distribution, and Thomas Evans passed his C West.
Don, congratulations, and thank you, guys. Individual delegates who wish to address the commission.
I wasn't on there.
For matter of interest, commission. Finance Department, Ms. Lisa Coleman.
Thank you.
Hang on. There was one.
We got something.
Matter. 6A.
Okay, give me just a second, Ms. Coleman. Pursuant to NCGS 160A 270, consider authorization for publication of public notice regarding long-term lease agreement for county-owned property located on Emergency Way off of Highway 701 North. This is what we talked about at the last meeting.
Make a motion that we move forward with this pursuant to the.
Got a motion by Mr. Cameron McGill,
Second.
second by Dr. Owens. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Coleman, dashboard.
Review the dashboard with you for the month ending August 31st of 2025. In the general fund budget, we received revenues of 22.95% of the budget and spent 15.45%. In the solid waste, we received 36.81% of the solid waste revenues and spent 11.15%. Emergency telephone, we've collected 3.89% and spent 48%. Now remember, we got a grant on that one, so don't get too excited. Water, they were collected 17.64% and spent 5.84%. Any questions on the dashboard? Okay, in the federal inmate program, through the end of August, we had an average of 75 inmates in custody, and as of today, we had 75 inmates in custody. So,
All right.
thank you. Yes, sir.
We're still making,
Yeah, I got the new report today.
we're still making a good profit.
Well, we've budgeted for 80, so we're trying to get it built back up.
But the budget wise, we still paying a lot out of the revenues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any department, Renee Davis?
Good evening. At this time, as you know, the 2026, revaluation or reappraisal will be effective January 1st of 2026. And you should have a copy of the proposed 2026 schedule values. And at this time, I'm gonna, get Mr. Gary and Mr. Paul from Pioneer Appraisal to come and give you some information.
Read this.
Good evening, Commissioners, Manager Crooms, good to see you all again. Here we are again, huh? So anyway, presenting you with the manuals this evening with relevant information and guidelines that we use to conduct and are still conducting the revaluation for 2026. I have Mr. Paul Christensen with me this evening. He's one of our best. He's been working closely on the job here. He's analyzed the market, has some relevant numbers that we're applying, and he's going to share some information, some market trends and whatnot with you now.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Paul Christensen. I've been working with Gary for several years and been in the appraisal business for about 30 years, in and out of private sector and the tax sector. Bladen County is no different than a lot of the other counties in eastern North Carolina, and seeing an increase in values in properties. It's just North Carolina growing. I'll read you a few things, just general statements from articles I've read. Then I'll give you some examples of what actually is happening in Bladen County. This one said North Carolina among the fastest growing states in 2023. It said North Carolina's population growth ranked 6th in the nation in 2023, according to the latest U.S. Census Bureau. The state's estimated population increased by 139,526 people between July 22nd and July 23rd, bringing the total population to 10.8 million. South Carolina and Florida were the only other southeastern states to report faster growth. Although about 260 fewer people moved to North Carolina from other states over the last year, the number of international immigrants moving in grew by 12.4%. That kind of surprised me. The state also added over 13,000 more people from seeing more births than deaths. So apparently North Carolina is one of those places that people are having more babies. News files an October report that linked North Carolina growing population with a housing shortage, and that's where the rise in house prices comes from. The data compiled from the American Community Survey shows that Florida, Virginia, South Carolina, New York, California, and Georgia, and Texas saw residents leave for North Carolina state in 2022. Post-COVID, I've noticed everybody's coming here. I mean, just North Carolina has been found, for lack of a better word. I'm from Carteret County. We're overwhelmed. I mean, that's, we just had our reval. I understand all about that. I had to argue with him to get mine lowered, so I happen to know somebody in that business, so I did all right. But, so these new residents have driven up the cost of homes and priced many native North Carolinians out of the market. It compounds a housing shortage that existed well before the pandemic and has only increased. For another study, they can't build houses fast enough. The days of the $200,000 entry-level house are over. I've got one new house here in the back, $409,000 just built. I mean, that's beyond most people's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next article came out, it was interesting. It said, About 165,000 people moved into North Carolina from mid-2023 to mid-2024, pushing the state past 11 million residents. The state now ranks 4th in the U.S. population growth. If things keep going this way, North Carolina will become the 7th largest state by 2030, with about 11.7 million people. Since the 2020 census count, North Carolina has grown by 605,000 people. The yearly average is now 142,000 residents, way up from the previous decade's 90,000 yearly newcomers. The latest numbers show 152,000 people moved in the last year. Of those, and this is pretty interesting, of those, 70,000 came from other countries, while 82,000 moved in from other states. Natural growth added, in this one, natural growth added another 12,000 through births. Things look different after COVID-19. Wake and Mecklenburg counties used to attract nearly half of all new residents. Now they only bring in a quarter.
Yeah, that's surprising.
And what you see is they're moving to the outlying counties. I did Wilson County. All the people that used to live up in Wake now live in Wilson County. All the people who used to live in Wilson County now live in Martin County. So it's a migration going on. I mean, all the people who used to live in Fayetteville are now coming here. So there's a general migration coming to all of us. I lived at Atlantic Beach for years, and I wouldn't leave on the weekends. I moved off Atlantic Beach and moved into Morehead City. Now I don't leave on the weekends. I mean, it's just, it's everywhere. The best example I got of what is going on in your particular county comes from a sale that when I was reviewing the sales, which we're still in the process of. But this one I found interesting. It was a house over on Grays Lane, wasn't on the water, but in 2020, which is pre-pandemic, pre-craziness, pre-everything, it sold for $192,000. The following year, in 2021, it went up a little bit. March of 21, it went to $205,000. Well, that covered the realtor fees, you know, so he kind of broke even. But in 2022, it jumped up to $242,500. So now he's making a little money. People driving down here in their U-Haul need a place to live. Saw that one and picked it up. Well, those people hung on to it for 3 years. So in June of 2025, it just sold for $309,000. That's in Bladen County. That isn't in Wake, you know, that isn't in Wake. So that's an example. So if you're starting at 192 and ended up at 309, if you start out at 75, you're at 200. The other thing that I found in the last counties that we did, manufactured homes. If you all had owned 10 manufactured homes 5 years ago, you'd be sitting good right now. I keep a record of every county I'm in of strictly manufactured homes, because people have owned them for 20 years, come in and say, there ain't no way that house is worth that. And I have them by year. So I say, wait a minute, how old's your house? How many acres you got? Have you done anything to it? And I'll scroll through that thing, and I usually have 2 or 3 from every year, back to when, you know, they started. And the people are shocked. I first noticed it in Craven County. If you had asked me back then what a double wide on a half-acre lot out in the country was, I'd say $85,000. After we got done with the reval up there, I would tell you 170. Now I'd probably tell them 220. Brand new double wide sold this year, March of 2025. To give you an idea of where Bladen County is with regards to double wides. This was 2,000 square foot, brand new double wide, put on lot, average, got a deck on the front, deck on the back, like I do, and, it sold for $196,000. The tax value on it, the old value on it, was $119,000. Sales price is $196,000. So that means right now, this double wide is sitting at 60%. That does not shock me. I've been in other counties where it's way higher than that. So that's kind of where that's at. Your base houses, I have a couple of the double wides in here, but they're all about the same. This one sold for $175,000, and the old tax value was $100,000. That was put on in 2022. That's where double wides have gone. And I thought myself, not all of them, but the ones that are well maintained, people keep them up, have nice lots. That's what they can get for them. And I wondered when it first started, when I seen it happening, is what was going on with them. Because if you would ask anybody 6 years ago, mobile homes appreciate, they don't appreciate. I mean, that was the bottom line. I sold 200 lots for mobile homes. I know them well. And put everybody in them. So I have a real good feel for it. So what's the difference between that 85 and that 170? It's a thing called value in use. If I'm leaving Pennsylvania and just sold my house for $500,000, and I got my U-Haul full of stuff, and I'm coming to North Carolina, I got to have a place right now. I got to have a place. My new job's in North Carolina, my new job's in Fayetteville, my new job's anywhere in North Carolina. I'm moving here, I'm retiring, I got a pocket full of money, I got to be somewhere. That's where the difference is. The value in use of being able to back your truck in there, put your stuff in that house, and live there till you figure it out. And like I say, I wish I'd owned 5 or 10 of them 10 years ago, because I probably wouldn't be talking to you all now. I'd be fishing or golfing or doing something. But in the scheme of the process of where we're at with right now, if this was a football game, we're at the halfway point. I've just started now going back through and reviewing sales again to see where the numbers are and how they're coming into line. I can't give you a ratio. Everybody wants to know, well, where we're going to be. 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, what ratio are we going to be? It's not possible for me to give you that number now because half of the properties in Bladen County still have the old values on them. We have, I think, 4 or 5 people going through now making the changes to all those properties. So you've got, half of them got new values on them, half of them got old values on them. So at this point in time, there's just not a way to say it's going to be, you're going 35%, 40%, or 25%. There's just no way to give you that number right now. But the process is ongoing, and I'm really comfortable with the numbers that I've put in the schedule values. They're in correlation with other counties that we've done recently. We used to follow OSB, 7/16 OSB. Covers the sides of your houses, covers your roofs. When I first started doing it in Craven County, it was like $10.50 a sheet. And COVID came along. I have seen it as high as $60 a sheet. Walked through those the other day. It's $17 a sheet. That's pretty much your increase in construction costs. That difference between the $11 and the $17. Now, what also comes into play on properties is the depreciation of them. As soon as 2026 rolls in January 1st, every property in Bladen County loses 4% pretty much, 1% a year. So that factors into what the ratio is going to be. It isn't just a matter of, well, it's going from $11 to $17. There's a lot more factors that go into it. We looked at your land prices. Your farm use comes from the state. I mean, they you all choose to use them, so that's where that number comes from. Most of your building sites, the actual home site, I found them to be real low, about half what they should have been. So we've adjusted those throughout the county. Not the residual land so much, and not the woodlands a great deal, but the home sites were low. So we're working on them, and we'll continue to work on those, because like I say, we're at the halfway point right now. But that's basically where Bladen County is right now compared to other counties and compared to why things are going on that way.
Can you, describe what you call a home site?
That would be getting ready to build a house. Driveway, get on it, electric, water, everything ready to build that house. That's a building site. Other than that, it's just a vacant lot. Here you actually have what's known as an undeveloped site. If you have a string of 20 lots and you're building houses on half of them, the ones that are built on, they'll have sites, actual building sites. The other ones will be undeveloped sites, and they get a different value because if any of y'all ever bought land, you pay $10,000 an acre, but you're hoping that half-acre site is going to be 25. That's just the math of it all. But that's the difference.
Okay. Been always a blessing to see Mr. Tyner. Last time we went through this, there were some idiosyncrasies that are very unique to Bladen County. Just encourage you to, and I'll just mention a couple of them. And any of us, we've been here long enough, please reach out to us if there's some things that don't make sense.
Sure.
Let's give you a couple. Because the folks come to us going, what in the world? I live at White Lake. If you're in White Lake and you're on one side of 53, your property is priceless. If you're on the other side of 53, very well may be worthless. Right. But there were some property values that were equated. It didn't matter what side. In other words, if you have lake access or if you don't have lake access, only a nut would build a house that didn't have lake access. I'll say no more on that. But anyway, the other thing is the moratorium is still at Bay Tree. And I don't know, I'm hearing the home sites and,
I've seen some sales there, just a vacant lots. But when you see what they bought them for and you see what they're getting now, they ain't breaking even.
and there's a moratorium, so they can't build. And it has a driveway. Some of them have a cleared spot and sitting there, but they can't build. So that was another thing. People's taxes went up and they said, well, I got a piece of land that isn't good to anything other than the neighbor to buy a park on. I don't know, I guess I'm getting a little bit nervous. I'm feeling like we're getting ready to be.
Sure. Now, Commissioner McGill, is there any resolution to that in sight over there, or still none?
We've met with DEQ and not going to divulge too much, but there's a number of steps before it's going to be resolved. In fact, there are homeowners landowners beginning to build with septic tanks, with the promise that one day they'll hook into the system once the moratorium goes away. But there's a lot of drama even in that. I just think the last time we had a lot of folks come and go, and no offense to you all, because I wouldn't know what I was doing in Carteret County. But sometimes when you come here, there are idiosyncrasies that are so unique to Bladen County, like the house that you mentioned. I know that house, and the folks that wanted it told their son, get it for us, we don't care what we got to pay. That is not a norm at White Lake.
No, and I've seen other places here, what you all do have here, and I've actually seen a place full of double wides that they're not, they're in the low end range. They're not gonna go up at all. There you have a lot of subdivisions with dirt roads here, which is not
Yeah,
common, yeah.
and I'm a preacher, so I'll say in closing, one more thing. But I do wonder about some of the double wides. There are folks that maybe, with all due respect, couldn't go and purchase a brick home on a nice corner lot in a subdivision. They can go over to the mobile home dealership and they'll pay whatever, as long as they can get them a payment they can afford. And so I wonder if that elevates some of these double wide prices that people, they just almost are being taken advantage of. I don't know, just a thought.
Well, it's entry level house. That's,
They don't,
it's a new entry level
Yeah,
house.
It's like going to the car lot, and they don't care what the cost is, how much is my payment, and if you can get me in that home and I can move in it next week, I'll go by Rent-A-Center and get me some furniture and I'll be in it.
It's funny, one of these sales in here was a repo. It sold one year, went under, and let me see, and the very next year they sold it for what they could get for it. This is it here. There's a repo in 23, and then in 2024, it sold for $125,000. And it was 1,568 square feet. To me, that's a pretty good buy. But that's, even the repos are selling, the day of the $10,000 repo, they're long gone. People are also, there's an industry not only here, but throughout the other counties that we've done. Flipping houses. They're flipping double wides now. I mean.
We have mobile home parks that are not that old, that literally the law is afraid to go to. So, you know.
Well, the sales or the number of repos will indicate what the values will be in those.
Now, we are on track to finish this by the end of the year, by the way, and we're hoping, Renee and I talked, we're hoping to maybe get notices out by the end of January, latter part of January, and we'll be in real good shape then.
We talk about land influences and factors. Do you look at the hurricane or the areas that are flooded? Do you consider that? Kelly, someplace in Bladensboro, they start taking places.
The
Heavy rain.
sales or lack of sales tell you an awful lot about a part of the county. I just saw a house the other day that was flooded out, and might have been in Kelly. And the tax value on it was, and I don't know why the people ever came in because the place was gutted. But it only sold for like $30,000 for the shell. But in the thing, it said it was flooded, but we still, the tax value on it was 60 or 70 or 80. And I don't know why they never came in and said, look, well, now the new people that bought it, if they want to fix it up, then, you know, they have to get new permits, and that's how it'll be discovered. But like I say, the sales or lack of sales tell you a lot about a neighborhood that you're in.
Well, I'm really concerned about the ones who are in their homes now. And the one particular one off of Ken Store Road, every heavy rain is flooded. They have to evacuate. And I'm worried about what their value will be. I mean, to me, it's not fair. Or it's what, 2 years old? Yeah.
With that.
Well, a situation like that, we can't know that when we're doing it, but when they get their notice and they disagree with, and they have concerns like you're speaking of, they'll let us know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be talking with everyone that appeals. We'll be talking with them, and they can express their concerns, and we will address them then.
So have you completed your evaluation already?
No, we're still working till the end of the year. It goes into effect, the beginning of 26.
The beginning, okay. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
So you plan to have all your revals done by December 31st?
That's our plan, yes, sir. And if we're lagging on a little bit, we'll finish it up shortly thereafter before notices go out with the new values, but we should be done by the end of the year.
And the last thing, on some things you're saying from the inside, you don't go to inside the home.
No, ma'am.
From the outside.
Right. Well, that's right. There's a lot you can't know about the inside.
So they need to come in.
That's the mass appraisal process, but we're glad to go visit when they request that we do and address it then.
In the appraisal world, when I first was learning, my boss told me, he says, what that house looks on the outside is generally what it looks like on the inside.
I'm not sure about that. I refuse to do the outside.
Is that-
I refuse because of the valuation.
Right, yes, ma'am.
All right, I know we went through this the last time, but my house is in a flood zone.
Yes,
I go to sell my house, I've got to disclose that it is in a flood zone.
sure.
Right.
But y'all don't, that is not part of the appraisal. I mean, it's not a part of it.
That generally shows up in the sales
You're
price.
hoping the market reflects that. Yes, sir.
Because I just actually sold a piece of land, and it was in the flood zone, the realtor, she had to disclose it.
Yeah,
Right, that's right.
That's the way to value.
right.
Yeah.
It's not worth nothing, but they gotta pay the flood insurance if they build. Yeah, so you're not gonna pay as much for that, knowing you've gotta, come in and pay flood insurance on top of everything else.
So it all should be reflected in the market and sales. Yes, sir. And we, along with the manuals, we gave you a sheet about the upcoming tasks in relation to the schedule of values and leading up to adopting it. So you have the dates that we have on there actually coincide with the meetings that Renee said that you'll probably be addressing these different tasks.
Question. Another one in room 2 with,
Mr. Gooden, gentlemen, go on.
So, you're not doing any on-site visits?
We are not this time, no, sir. We did the last time for the 2022 revaluation. We visited every property.
You do it per site.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That should pick up everything.
That's what was requested, so that's the scope of work.
That's the job we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more question and I'm through. How are you gonna go about intense livestock operations?
What, sir?
Intense livestock operations,
Right.
hogs, turkeys, chickens?
Sure. Yeah. We use the cost approach on those and just kind of generally look at the picture we have of them and decide on the percentage good, the depreciation we want to apply to them. And of course, they depreciate heavily. We know that. So we try to be as fair as we can in those cases.
And they generally show up if you're not. I mean, those folks, they're on top of it. So they're, then you handle that through the appeal process.
Right, that's right. And we know that generally speaking too, that owners of these sites don't want us on the property, and we understand why. The risk of disease and whatnot spreading, so we understand that.
What's the time period on, filing an appeal on the reevaluation?
You'll have 30 days after you get your notice to file an appeal.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
That'll be on the, notice when it goes out.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
That'll be in August or in January?
January.
In January, because we just got a tax.
That's for 25.
Really?
Bill, just got was for 2025.
Oh.
You'll get a notice for your value in January, and then the bill will come out.
Considering scheduling a public hearing for 6:30 on Monday, October the 6th, 2025, to receive regarding 2026 schedule of value standard order. Motion by Mr. Hester,
Second.
second by Dr. Longois. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. I think it's important, and we appreciate y'all coming.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a comment now before we get down to discussion from commissioners, because I think it's important at this time. And I respect your job, number one, because it's a hard job. But we're Tier 1 county, and y'all deal with Tier 1 counties, obviously. But I have a retail setting where people come in my store every day. sad when a young lady comes in there with 3 or 4 children, and she can't afford to get a rent from a mobile home. It may be holding it for $700, $800, $900. And there again, that's not your fault. But I'm just trying to make a point here. I'm working on an article, and our commissioners need to know this, because I like their input before I finish. Because, Preacher Harris is going to present this, I hope, for me to Congress, of a matter of interest and concern. And I'm going to use 1967 for an example. I've got a home that I redone, just like you said, on the dirt road. My value is probably close to $400,000. My house is probably worth it. It was an FHA house to begin with, and I added on. Okay, which I have no complaint personally. But that house is $6,666. If I hadn't added on to it, that price today in our market here would be $150 to $175. Now I'm going there to tell you this. I've worked on 50 items. And this is to show people why my grandmother, your mother maybe, and a lot of other mothers could stay home, take care of the children. And the daddy worked, and he was the only one in the household working, and he made minimum wage. To buy that house today, minimum wage in 66, 67 was $1.45 an hour. I've done my work on it. A payday candy bar was 5 cents in a convenience store. Today, in a convenience store, it's $2.35. Taking the same amount of money from your minimum wage to the minimum wage worker today, that's 47 times increase on that nickel candy bar. Minimum wage, if it had gone up 47 times for him to be able to buy that candy bar, the same rate of the percentage, he would have to make $70 an hour. I did 50 items like that. And there's the block that we're in today. I'm not saying the convenience store is making that kind of profit. Ray's definitely not making it on the furniture. But somebody's got to go back and figure out where this problem started. Because prices have got so far out there, but we need to know what happened to cause this. A quart of milk, a carton of drinks, as we call it, and a loaf of bread today would be, drink in the bottle, would be $17. It was 90 cents then. So when you look at it, it's 20-some times the 145 that he would have to make in minimum wage. The haircut was a quarter. Today it's $20 in the barbershop. $20 for a common haircut. And so my point, we have a major problem, and it's more major in a rural area in a tier 1 county than anywhere else. Absolutely. And to me, that is the #1 priority in our country, that somebody's got to figure out where it went wrong and why we can't afford to live anymore, much less buy a home and to be able to survive and sustain.
Yes, sir.
One factor I hadn't told you, your net income then on that $1.45, the state and the government and all that take about 7% out. Now you can figure 25% on the minimum wage worker. So there's the real problem that we face today, and it's a major problem. We'll end on a positive note. You said North Carolina's having the babies. I just saw on the news here a while back, to sustain, each woman has to have 2.1 children for us to sustain and operate what we have in our country today. We're at 1.9 in our country today. So we got an issue there.
Sure.
But I just thought I'd point this out because this is a major, major concern. And I do this for more than one reason. Sampson County is busted. Columbus County, I hear, is 10 million. We went for the first time about 5 million in our fund balance system. I said here as a commissioner, concerned. I don't have the answer for that person when the tax goes up, because I know it's gonna go up. Mine as well. But, I think if everybody knew the conversation I just had with you, that's an alarming that could keep you up tonight. But I live in the real world, and I try to answer these questions.
Sure.
But I do a little bit of math. I can work numbers. And, but folks, we're in a hell of a mess. We are in a mess, and I don't see it getting any better, and I don't blame no party, because every party's been a part of this since the year that I picked out and used 66 or 67. A new Ford was $3,000-some hundred. Today, the same Ford would be $47,000.
It's got one.
19 times, 19 times that minimum wage again.
Right. Right.
And, so it's just continues to get terrible and terrible. I just thought it was the appropriate time to share that, because I don't know what some of these people like the NC Rebuild.
Yeah, that's right.
These folks did have no clue they were in a $10,000 house. Now they're in a $200,000 house. I hope you got some good children, some good sisters, some good brothers, because who's going to have to pay the taxes? And that's not our fault. And the problem is, we need the revenue from all of it,
Well, that's right.
because we're just gonna go in the hole even further.
Well, the tax base is gonna go up significantly, it is, but as you know, Commissioner Britt, all of you know, you have it in your power to adjust the tax rate where it needs to be.
And how much can you adjust if you continue having?
That's what you have to ascertain. That's
If you
right.
don't do one way or the other, then you got to cut out some of this stuff we've been offering to the people.
Understand?
You
Yes,
got to
sir.
do one or the other.
That's right.
Before we need to start doing some serious soul searching and thinking and praying on the NC rebuild, because that is a huge, huge elephant in the room when it comes to the reval.
Yeah.
And I know, I've heard people say, well, those folks should have known better. But if they were told, you're gonna have to pay the taxes, you're gonna have to pay the insurance, the utilities, they were told that, but there was no way they could have known, like you said, their $10,000 house, they were paying less than $100 a year.
It's called the excitement.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, they've got a bill that's $2,000, $3,000, and the homeowners, I don't know what we're doing, but we're gonna have to do something.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you all. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Mr. Gino, is there a list of the NC rebuild? I would love, I hate for it to just implode. Is there any way that we can have a list of NC rebuild and to know percentage-wise how many of them are current?
Well, actually, we just had a few, meetings ago, NCV bill was just
Right.
here, and
Yeah,
they
he was-
presented that.
Yeah.
Let's do a text maybe, that came, Tim, you can text her that question, you can email. I text her today.
I think that would be a good thing for us to keep track of.
When you text her, and she was
And-
quick.
We really encourage all of them to talk to them. I mean, it's not what you can do though.
Or email her.
But a lot of the citizens gonna be very disappointed. They're not thinking, like you said, about the value going up, homeowners.
Vice Chairman.
They're gonna be disappointed.
I do want to mention that we do get our building inspections, and we know which ones were NC Real Build. And we're gonna keep an eye on those. You know, some that were just, this might have been some of their first bills for 2025. But then we'll see the rest of them probably for 2026. But just know that we have a spreadsheet that, because it went through the building inspection, and they were replaced or demolished, we have those, and we have them set to the side so we can keep an eye, so we can kind of keep up with these, if they need to do payments or whatever, just to keep in check with them, because they did not know. Because they owed for the older house before they came in to get the new one. So just know that we are checking in on our end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Advisory board appointments, starting with A. Bart, advisory board, 1.
Do we need to vote on HB?
We already did, we did.
Oh, okay.
Advisory board appointments, Bart, 1.
Are we not the,
Yeah, that has to be, it's a vacant spot.
it's a vacant, so we have to just take it.
All right, motion taken.
Second.
Is it,
It was, Amber Scholler, she no longer works for the health department.
Right,
She needs someone from the health department on that one.
yes, so let's wait on that.
We got a motion to table by Mr. Gillespie, a second by Dr. Montgomery. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Beaver management,
Reappoint. Motion. Second.
reappointment by, was it Mr. Gooden, second by Mr. Gillespie. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Okay.
EMS, advisory board, we got, we're gonna replace the county manager vacant
Yes.
with Mr. Sam Green. Okay. And,
reappoint the rest.
reappoint the rest. You want to get a motion?
That's it.
Second motion by Mr. Gillespie, second by Mr. Bullock. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Emergency Planning Committee,
We
the,
need a fire, it's a fireman,
feedback.
fire chief Louis, Hollis Freeman, Elizabethtown Fire Department.
Okay, a second.
Hollis, got a motion by Mr. Gillespie, Hollis Freeman, and second by Dr. McGoins. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Lumber River Workforce Development Board,
Get a name for that, I can't remember what it was.
have any motion to table?
Second.
Got a motion to table by Mr. Gillespie, a second by Mr. Bullock. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bladen County opioid, let's see.
Motion to reappoint.
Well, we got.
Oh, you gotta replace one.
So we Danielle Sable to replace Vicky Graham, to replace Vicky Graham by
Okay.
Danielle Sable.
With that,
Katie Evans.
Katie Evans.
Katie Evans.
Katie Evans to replace Vicky Green.
I'll make a motion with that.
May make
I got one question.
Okay. Yeah.
No, go ahead, you got it.
No, I'm
Okay.
good. Just made a motion by,
Well,
we made a motion on Katie Evans.
I'll make that motion, but I just had a question also.
All right, we'll get to that. We got a motion by Mr. Gillespie, a second by Mr. Cameron. Any further discussion?
Yeah, it's Rudy Rampal. He's not in the county anymore.
No.
So we need someone to replace him. I just spotted that today. He's not in Bladen County anymore, he's moved. So, anybody got anybody? We just have to,
We'll table that one and come back to it.
yeah, I mean, it's not up for reappointment, but it was, I don't know if somebody caught that, because she left with the woman.
Megan Watts is the,
The recommendation.
that's the recommendation.
But for Rudy?
Yep.
Oh, well, then I'll do that then.
All right.
I'll include that
It
in the.
includes,
Yeah.
Mark's motion,
A second.
and second by Dr. McGoins. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Mhm.
Make sure you look at the advisory board appointments for consideration during our next meeting, Bay Tree Lakes Fire District Committee 1. And,
Be October 20th.
and Clarkson Fire District 2 on the October 20th meeting. Calendar review, Mr. Cronin.
Mr. Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners. Tomorrow morning, we have the Bladen County Volunteer Agriculture District meeting at the Powell Melvin Ag Center. They will be providing the breakfast. On October 19th, which is this Friday, from 6 to 8, a night to recovery at the Hill and Place located at 1000 Medical Center Drive in Wilmington. This Saturday, October the 20th, from 10 to 4 is the 37th Annual Peanut Festival in Dublin, and the parade will start at 10 o'clock. Going into October, October 2nd at 6 p.m. will be Bladen Community College Annual Foundation Dinner at the Cape Fear Winery. On October 6th, we will have our prayer service at 8 a.m. in this room. 6:30 that night, the board will be back here to meet again in the commissioners, at the Bladen County Courthouse, here in the commissioners room. October 7th, at 8 will be Agamac Day at Bladen Community College. Both days, the events will go from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that will be there at Bladen Community College. October 9th will be Bladen County Firefighters Association. Tar Heel Fire Department will be hosting that night, and that meeting starts at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, October 11th, From 10 to 3 will be a North Carolina Grape Festival at Blue Mill Vineyard, here in Elizabethtown. And then on October 13th, from 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock will be the Health and Human Services Advisory Council meeting at the Bladen County Health Department. October 14th at 6 p.m. will be the Animal Control Board, Bladen County, at the Bladen County Health Department at their conference room. On October 20th, we'll have a special meeting starting at 4:30 to report to people at the Powell Melvin Ag Center here in Elizabethtown, and that night we will have another board meeting starting at 6:30. On October 24th and October 25th would be Feast Fest over in Bladenboro. On the 24th, it will run from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. On October 25th, it will go from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's everything on the calendar at this time.
We need to schedule a strategic planning session, like we did last week, but, unfortunately, we said it. I didn't realize that Mr. Peters was gonna be out of town today. Gonna work out too, because Dr. Ellis is due to sick. Can everybody look at the calendar and come up with a date?
How soon?
Soon as we can.
I'll be able to look at the 28th.
So you won't be here done next week?
No, that's not.
Or is that
No,
also?
the following week. I can do next week, the following week. I'll be back on the 3rd.
No.
I can make 3rd of October, when I leave on the 28th.
You leave on.
Maybe like the October 7th, October 1st.
You looking for a day, morning or afternoon?
Whatever works the best for the consensus.
Commissioner McGee, you said October the first?
First, October 7th.
I won't be here the 1st.
Okay.
I'll come back the 3rd.
So about this, like Monday the 6th, Tuesday the 7th.
We have, that meeting that day, yeah. We do
Got a meeting on
We
the
have
6th.
2. We have evaluation at 6, and then the 6th. I'm saying, any of those days are fine with me.
What days?
What day?
He said the 6th or 7th. I mean, I can do those.
7th, look good.
Yeah, that morning maybe? Or afternoon, I don't care. You like afternoon, 6 o'clock?
It doesn't matter.
No, Rodney.
I'm just saying, I know the dates, that they're playing free, and they're meeting every Tuesday night. I know Charles plays. That's pretty much
Can we not meet during the day, or is that not?
Early morning? Yeah, early morning.
I like the early morning before anything gets.
At what
Don't-
time?
We can do prayer meeting at 8 and meet right after that.
That'll work. Can we do that?
Yeah, I'll come. I will,
On the
what
6th?
time? We made
October
that
6th?
9 o'clock?
Okay, so
Okay.
9.
Maybe the 8th, meet right after.
8:30 would be better.
8:30, I'll make a motion, meet at 8:30.
On what day?
The 6th.
6.
Well, same.
Second.
That's fine.
Good motion, Mr.
It's
Cameron.
right here,
Second for Mr. Good.
on the 6th.
6.
October 6th, 8:30.
Put a note.
Good with that?
Yes.
Can we make a motion, the chairman provide breakfast since he's not here? At his expense.
We have to leave that day now.
I'll go on that one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So we got free meal coming, is that what you're saying?
We'll have to, because we have meetings then.
No, we
We
both
have
go.
another one at 6 o'clock, and then 6:30, is that right? Even
Eight.
hour 6?
I hope that 8:30 meeting doesn't go all the way to 6:30.
On the 20th.
That's when we have to.
That's the 20th.
Oh, I got the wrong date then.
October 6th.
I put it for the 6th, it was supposed to be on the 20th.
No, it's
So
6.
6 is what we.
No, I mean, the evaluation, you should just talk about that. Reval, That's at 6:30.
But that's just gonna be,
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm good.
October sixth at 8:30.
That's fine, thank you.
sounds good.
Any delegates wish to address the commission?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Matter of interest to the commissioners, anything else? Got a matter of interest with Mr. Cameron to adjourn. Can I get a second?